Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Bauchner. I'm a partner at Mandelbaum Barrett, where I chair the Cannabis, Hemp, and Psychedelics practice and work in the litigation and bankruptcy groups.
My name is Chris Zona. I'm also a partner at Mandelbaum Barrett. I'm in litigation, white collar, and criminal defense. And we're here to talk with Josh to kind of ask him about a new kind of exploding governmental process, and something that Josh is really spearheading in a lawsuit that he just filed in the SDNY, the Southern District of New York Federal Court. And it relates, Josh, my understanding is it relates to kind of an overnight criminalization, for lack of better terms, of certain types of hemp products, which at one point were legal, and all of a sudden, like that, New York State came in and said, there's a new cutoff or a new level of legality, and not only must you comply with it, but it's immediately compliant, and we're going to take all of your goods and potentially close your business if you don't. Why don't you tell us kind of the more specifics, and
Sure.
Obviously, explain to us where you're coming from in this.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. So, 2018 Farm Bill from Congress basically legalized hemp-derived cannabinoids. And distinct from cannabis, which is now state by state, every state has its own cannabis market, and you can't transport New York cannabis products to Massachusetts. You can't transport Massachusetts cannabis products to New York. Hemp is different. It can cross state lines. So our clients are New York businesses that are in the business of hemp, and they create hemp-derived cannabis products, many of them beverages, other supplements, that are 100% compliant with the federal law, and until December 15th of last year, 100% compliant with the state law. What happened was last July, the state passed an emergency justification that changed the allowed concentrations of THC in the hemp product. This was challenged, and a court actually found that the emergency justification was invalid. The court ruled that there was no science and no evidence to support the need to change the law, no threat of public harm, and in addition, that the state didn't adhere to the processes through which they needed to implement this emergency justification. So it said you can't enforce that law. The state then doubled down. And we knew it was a Pyrrhic victory when it was originally won. And in fairness, another law firm handled that case and adopted the exact same regulations outside of the context of emergency justification, changing the concentrations of hemp. So the analogy, Chris, would be alcohol. If all of a sudden the state said any alcohol that's more than 40 proof is illegal, and every bottle of Jack Daniels you have, everything you have at home, everything that you have at your liquor store, everything that's a warehouse is illegal, and you then compel the liquor industry to change its entire model to reduce the proof. They did this overnight to the cannabis industry, effectively shutting it down and criminalizing it after rendering it legal.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not just as if they made it illegal one day and I own a hemp shop and I'm selling hemp products. I have to close in order to reorient my business. They actually made it illegal such that if I'm open the next day with that product, the NYPD may be at the door.
I am now selling contraband.
So how are you combating this?
So we filed a civil rights complaint. It's a federal civil rights complaint under Section 1983 that is alleging the state is violating our clients' constitutional rights in a couple of different ways. The first is through these new regulations, we're arguing it's a violation of the Fifth Amendment's taking clause. That all of that now contraband, that newly illegal product, that is basically an unlawful taking by the state. The state is also engaged in a number of warrantless searches and seizures of our clients. They've been doing this for months. Candidly, I think our clients, our hemp clients, are getting caught up in the cannabis dragnet, targeting unlicensed cannabis stores, but law enforcement is not distinguishing between cannabis hemp. Now, in fairness, it's the same plant, but two separate guidelines, two separate laws, and very, very distinct product. So these warrantless searches and seizures, they violate the Fourth Amendment rights of our clients. And they're coming in, they're seizing the product. No notice of violation is being issued, no hearings conducted. We understand the product's being destroyed, and they're hurting these businesses. And let's remember, Chris, these businesses, they're small businesses. They're more often than not family owned. I mean, these are folks who are starting in a nascent industry, recently legalized, and are now losing everything. Everything they've invested is now out the window because of this governmental overreach.
And not only are these small business, but they're new business. They're business in their infancy, which, as we all know, business in their infancy are always struggling to move up. So we're talking about New York City business owners who are being damaged and harmed by what we can agree may be government overreach, especially with my crim background. When we talk about Fourth Amendment and searches and seizures, the requirements for warrants or probable cause, and to have notice of that and understanding prior to the government coming in and taking your right. This sounds pretty scary, especially if you're out there and you're operating one of these businesses, or if you're in a tangential business that may touch this, because hey, this could be coming to your type of business next.
So you're right. It's the entire state and it's the entire stream of commerce. So this doesn't just impact hemp stores. This impacts the manufacturers who are providing product to those hemp stores. This impacts hemp cultivators. And these are again, completely legitimate businesses up until December 15th, who are now being told, after being told it was legal, it's illegal. And it's not just hemp retailers. Hemp beverages are sold in delis. Hemp beverages are sold in convenience stores. I am confident most of those, if not all of those convenience stores, don't realize that the product they have on their shelves was rendered illegal by governmental fiat, and they are technically committing a crime. And I'm also confident people who are buying those beverages and other hemp products don't realize this. So to the extent the regulation was intended to do any good, it's not serving that purpose because the product is still in the stream of commerce, and it's doing a heck of a lot of harm. New York is one of the largest markets in the country for anything, obviously, and you're basically shutting down these New York-based businesses, like you said, startup, nascent businesses trying to get a leg up, and you just pull the rug out from underneath them.
Well, Josh, hopefully, we're all anxious to follow where this goes, and it's great to know that, quality, talented attorneys like yourself are sticking up for those small businesses and making sure that, everybody's rights, everybody's interests are protected, especially when we talk about the Constitution and government overreach. And obviously, if you're out there and you're watching and you run one of these kind of businesses, or as Josh explained, you're in any part of that stream of commerce, and you hear about this and you're fearful of where things may go, give us a call, give Josh a call. He's always willing to talk through problems and provide solutions, as he's shown with this recent filing.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, of course, Josh. Thanks for joining us.